The fact is that that's just the way that the government operates. It's a perfect example of, for instance, today we're having a debate on the cabinet office. Other ministers share their brief, but the premier, who speaks collaboration all the time, declined to share his brief with us. And that's why whenever I speak, I say that you should pay attention to what the premier does as opposed to actually what he says.
The report highlights a number of concerns with contracts that were entered into under the former Progressive Labour Party government. Mm-hmm. Were you able to look at any of these findings, and do you have any concerns about what's highlighted in there?
I haven't had a chance to review all of those items in depth. I think what's the most important thing is to recognize and understand. I think that from what I was able to reveal, it seems as though if the Commissioner of Police has engaged in investigations, these investigations will be going on a long time into these matters. So here we have the police that are conducting investigation. We have a Commissioner of Inquiry that's conducting investigations. We have a government that's spending money on certain civil, I don't want to call them civil prosecutions, but they might as well be civil prosecutions. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of money that is being spent. The most important thing, in my view, Gary, is to make sure that we have complete transparency at any point in time, as the Progressive Labour Party has laid out a very robust plan for good governance, and we will improve the standard of governance which exists. I will, however, say this. I think that it is very interesting that a government, the One Bermuda Alliance, that when faced with coming into office, has, after, I want to say, 51 months in office right now, refused to implement the Good Governance Act. And I think that should tell members of the public all you need to know. They talk a lot, but it's a question of the actions.
Some of the findings in this report would reflect negatively on a number of members of your backbenchers. In fact, individuals who sit on the opposition, that could well be given ministerial portfolios, if the PLP were to win the next general election. Surely you would be concerned about that.
I would be concerned about anything, but I think the most important thing, as was said by numerous civil servants, is that you have to understand the context. So from the view of which we operate and the view of which I operate, we have a very robust plan for good governance. It's clear for all to see. I'm more than happy to refer members to our website, and they can look at the statements of which we have made, and we will remain steadfast on that particular issue. The most important thing that is to take place is to ensure that the people's money is handled properly and correctly. And when we have a chance to review the Commissioner Inquiry report in its full detail, we'll do that. But I think I would caution everyone to ensure that when we're speaking about these various items, that there are investigations which are taking place by law enforcement, and I think that it's most important to wait for those particular items to end, so we can see where exactly we do stand. In our system of government, there is a separation of powers between the political leadership and between those who investigate crime. And that separation is there for a clear and specific purpose. And I think that we should make sure that we observe that separation, which recently seems to be disappearing.
Satisfied with the responses given by the Attorney General to questions pertaining to the lawsuit that's been filed against Leahy Clinic, in which a former Premier, Dr. Ewart Brown, is named and accused of engaging in less than above board financial activity?
I'm not satisfied with the answers. I mean, today he revealed the costs. I think that they said the government has spent $426,000 to date on this civil action, a civil action which we understand has put our treaty relationship with the United States at risk, a civil action which has clearly referenced information which could only have been gleaned from a criminal investigation. There are lots of questions that need to be answered, and I think that's the main question and challenge that we have here. Where do we draw the line? Are we becoming a place where political prosecutions are the state of affairs for a country? And I think that is a very, very dangerous slippery slope, especially. And a perfect example, we spent $426,000 on a foreign law firm, but we still have schools that do not have Wi-Fi. Where are the priorities in this country?
Going back to that report from the Commission of Inquiry, if in fact the evidence that is passed on to the DPP and the Bermuda Police Service turn out to warrant criminal investigations, would you support any such investigations?
I will support whatever investigations are required by the Bermuda Police Service. I'm not going to cast a judgment on the Bermuda Police Service itself, but I will maintain confidence in our systems of governance and confidence that Director of Public Prosecutions will execute his role as per the Constitution. And until any of those things take place, it's inappropriate for me to comment in any such regard. The fact of the matter remains is that out of the things of which the Commissioner inquiry recommended. Most of them were under a criminal investigation, and there was only one item which they did look at, which they recommended a criminal investigation, which was not currently under investigation by the police.